Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Last time we spoke about an introduction to homeopathy and treating and our way of looking at acute illnesses. Right now, sort of stuff, viruses and new things. Today, we're going to talk about chronic illness and the homeopathic approach to dealing with chronic illness and what goes wrong in your body long term and how we approach that kind of illness. So chronic or long term, this isn't right now. This is been there for a while. Last time we spoke about flu. We have very good inborn and programmed DNA responses to influenza and to viral threats that come into our bodies. And we spoke about those, and we spoke about learning from each viral exposure and getting yourself a patch when you're now immune to a virus and your body knows what to do with it, and that accumulates over time. The chronic approach is that homeopaths look at your body as an ecosystem, and no ecosystem is static. There is going to be birth and death on a cellular level. There's going to be changes on a chemistry level happening all the time. We are not a static object. No system that is alive is static. It is always in flux, and things change and cells die, and damage occurs and healing occurs, and things build up and things are broken down. Now, we've been told that your body never has to be uncomfortable ever. And so as soon as something is a sign that, oh, this isn't right. So for example, you've been sitting at a desk that's the wrong sort of distance from your laptop or your mouse, and you overextend that shoulder a little bit over and over, and your body says, I'm sore, and you just start taking a painkiller. You're not listening and allowing the process to happen. Your body is giving you a warning sign. It's talking to you. So we just gloss over things, and humans are very good at ignoring stuff. So eventually over time, with lifestyle choices that are not healthy for us, and perhaps environmental things that we can't avoid and haven't taken steps to avoid, we start to accumulate lifestyle illness, and we start to accumulate chronic problems. And unfortunately, over time, we gloss over those and we just ignore them. So very often people come to see me and they're like, oh no, this is my problem now. So we look at the problem, and then I ask them a lot of questions about the rest of their lives and the rest of their functions and the rest of their body works. And they kind of admit, oh no, but I'm always constipated. What? Oh no, I've always got a headache. No. That's not normal. But we gloss over these things and we just keep going. And the bricks in the backpack get heavier and heavier and heavier. And your body wants to get rid of some of this burden of long-term buildup of things. And it wants to say, hey, I need to fix this quickly. Just hang on a second. We need to not make this worse. And it starts to make symptoms. And remember, you've been shown these pictures all your life. You don't have to be responsible, and you don't have to be uncomfortable a day in your life. There is a pain pill, there is an anti pill, there is a fixie pill for everything. You don't have to have responsibility for your own body. And if you make a mess of it, that's fine. We'll just fix it with a drug. Unfortunately, homeopaths do not have that attitude. And we look at the body as something that you are in charge of, and you own the functioning of that. And we expect you to take ownership of it. But when you've been told that everything is never, ever allowed to be uncomfortable, and things started, your body's got some dead wood. There's a pile of rubble at the bottom of the garden. There's a bit of dead wood down there. And you're just having a little bonfire, just something small to get rid of the buildup. This is what you perceive it to be, because you're like, oh, I'm suddenly uncomfortable. Quick, take something quick, and then it'll go away. Your body is telling you something is wrong. It is giving you an indication that something you are doing, something you are exposed to is not happy, and it is not good for you. And we need to acknowledge that our body knows what it's doing. If it's giving you signs that it's unhappy about something, it needs to be listened to. But the minute we're uncomfortable, we reach for the anti-medication, the anti-inflammatory, the antihistamine, the antidepressant. Just smooth it over for now, and I'll just keep taking the pill. Anti-cholesterol, anti. So we just smother it. And it can just stay there underneath the layer of anti. And as long as it's there, we're comfortable. But as soon as you stop taking that medication, the problem comes back. because you haven't dealt with the issue in the first place. Why was it there? And that's what homeopaths want you to do. And what we will encourage and help you to do is to look at the source. Why is it there in the first place? Let's deal with that. And when the source is gone, let's deal with the fallout. If you don't, if you just anti all the time, what happens is these lingering leftover smoldery things that you're taking chronic medication for indefinitely. The idea that health issues are indefinite is not something that homeopaths will automatically buy into. There is this tendency to just, you can just take these. You can take them as long as you like. You can take this drug for as long as you like. That's not something homeopaths are happy with. We want you to have a problem, get over the problem, and move forward. Burn all the dead wood in the bottom of the garden. Finish. New land, new planting, new growth. Move forward, be healthy. This is not a healthy picture. There's little leftover bits of lingering nonsense going on here. And this is not a healthy picture. But remember, we are nudging your body in a direction it wants to go. We are not bludgeoning it. We are not making things happen. We are encouraging the natural processes that your body is capable of because of its DNA programming. And we are going to trust that your body knows what it's doing because it is a phenomenal organism that has enormous capacity for healing and to moving towards a healthier state. But you have to realize at the pace with which you're going to see results. I like to explain dealing with chronic illness to people as a ship at sea. You were exposed to something, you were reacting to something, you were doing things to your body, you were depleting things in your body, etc., etc. So that things start to change. And the negative change starts to create symptoms and you're barreling in a specific direction. That ship is going fast. It's gained momentum and it is now, in the old way, full steam ahead. Now, to slow that process, to fix that lifestyle illness or fix that chronic problem, you have to throw the engines in reverse. But you're not going to suddenly stop the engine. It's not going to happen. The best way to heal something and know that you are going to heal it completely and be finished with the problem. Symptoms can disappear very quickly if you take the right heavy medication, the right allopathic thing, your symptoms will disappear, boom. The problem isn't gone, but the symptoms have disappeared. Your body is now being drugged into submission and it will ignore the problem. When you are going to then deal with it, it's going to take a little bit more time to improve. First, that barreling ship at sea is going to slow down. The rate with which you were getting worse will get slower. Then you will come to a stop. Symptoms are no longer getting worse. Symptom aggravation has stopped. Then you will slowly start to slowly start to move in the opposite direction. Gaining momentum in the reverse direction, you will get better, faster and faster and faster and faster. That being said, if you continue the engine going full steam ahead and expect the body to somehow stop the problem, that's an unrealistic expectation. If you are doing something that is making you sick and you don't stop it, it's not going to be able to get better. So when a homeopath looks at you with a very serious face and says, no, I'm sorry, you're diabetic, you can't eat those things anymore, we mean it. If things in your life have been getting worse because of behaviors and things that you've been eating and doing and consuming and exposing yourself to, we are going to expect you to participate in the process and stop those behaviors that are making you sick. This is not a form of medicine and healing where you can still do whatever you like, as damaging as it may be, and still expect to have no symptoms. That's not the pact that homeopaths have with patients, and homeopathic medicine is not offering you a panacea where you can do whatever you like and carry on. So it's a different approach. So if you are abusing your body by putting muck in there, it may taste delicious, and that comfy couch, ooh la la, and that beer and the next beer and the next one and the next one, and the bad posture and etc., etc. If that's comfortable, fantastic, but don't expect to feel wonderful and healthy the next morning if you're not prepared to change your behavior. Homeopaths like to look at the body as a building, and I always tell people I'm an interior designer. I can fix up the wreck that you have made of your house. It can be the best possible version of its current self, but I cannot fix the roof that you may have had removed. I can't replace the door that you've torn off its hinges. So sometimes surgery is necessary. Sometimes there are things that you will need a contractor's help with. So then you will need to go and see a homeopath and get specialist advice on how to deal with these problems. But over-the-counter stuff, this is Feng Shui. We can help you deal with most lifestyle things, but there are going to be limits. And that's where we speak about the red flag things, and we talk about the time limits for how long you should wait until you feel the difference. But please bear in mind that if you have abused your body so much so that it is now a wreck, you are not going to be a perfect brand new built house of 18 years old. Again, you have had time enough to abuse your body, and your expectations of success need to be in line with how much damage you may have done. When you have small people with long-term illnesses or long-term problems or chronic issues, the chances of them getting full recovery faster is much better. It's a newer engine. It's a system that has had less time to be abused by its environment. Yes. So when you bring this sort of building to homeopath, bear in mind that it is going to take a long time to make it a livable thing. It is possible. It is absolutely possible. And I have had people messed up, disastrous, messed up, and they come out the other side phenomenally changed and improved, but they've worked with me. People are onions. I tell people you're an onion. You've got layers of lifestyle illness and layers of problems, and these things have, and it's not always lifestyle illness. Sometimes it's just the natural progression of a disease that's gotten abused and ignored for so long that layers and layers of other illness is layered on top, and we peel those layers off, and the newest things will go first. And you can't just keep ignoring all the problems in your body. You need to acknowledge them, and you need to take ownership of them and ask for help and move forward. You can't be living in a felt covered mess like Rivendell. The elves have long since left this one. It's a mess and it needs help. But it's teamwork. It's teamwork. You need to do your part, and the remedy will do its part. And together you guys can make huge differences to chronic and long-term illness. So that new growth and healthy moving forward is possible in your body. You can fix a lot of chronic illnesses. You can fix a lot of chronic long-term problems. And they are not necessarily indefinitely unfixable. Oh no, sorry, that's forever. Oh, blah. I don't like that attitude. It's defeatist, and that's not the way we work. So we're going to talk about a chronic long-term accumulation issue. Next, we're going to talk about stress. And in 2021, we are coping with long-term serious stress, and there's been lots of time and effort to put into building the stress effects in our bodies. So we're going to talk about how to deal with that and the remedies involved, and I'll see you at the next one. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get hold of us. If you've forgotten this evening and not put them in the chat, then you can put it on Facebook and we will help you. Thanks very much.